What's up, squad? This is Brandon from the Bantu Sun. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to touch base and talk about some of the projects that we're working on over here and what you can expect from us, why we're creating those projects, and just to fill you in and keep you in a loop. First and foremost, if you're not aware, we do have products currently on Amazon right now. This is one of our jigsaw puzzles, Africa the Continent. So it's going to have jigsaw puzzles, and of course, our boxes are great quality, and it's going to tell you everything about these continents, from cultural sites, historical figures, completely geopolitical. So you're going to see natural resources, major natural harbors, all the things that go into the creation of these nations. So our five current jigsaw puzzles are Africa the continent, Europe the conscious, Asia the inevitable, the United States the exceptional edition, and Latin America the new world. So we currently have those products out there right now for on Amazon. Great reviews. Check out one if you're interested in learning about one of those regions of the world or all of those and get the global bundle. Go ahead and get all five right now. You won't be disappointed. They're very informative, high quality. If you want to know about the world, these are the products to use. Now, taking that, let's go into some of our upcoming products that we're looking to launch for you guys, for all you geopolitical lovers out there that look to get have a better understanding of the world and have greater insight, so you can make greater decisions for yourself and the people you care about in your life. So, first project that I've mentioned, and this is in no particular order of release, we are working on six jigsaw puzzle, and that's going to be based on Australia, New Zealand, and Oceania. So in Oceania, that's going to include Polynesia and Melanesia. So Polynesia, your countries such as Samoa, New Zealand, Tahiti, and we're going to have Melanesia as well, countries such as New Caledonia, Papua New Guinea. We're going to include all of these countries as well, of course, as Australia and New Zealand on our latest puzzle release. So I'll give you the why on that one. So obviously, based off the regions of the world we currently have, this is kind of the one that's out there right now that we haven't really completed, is this part of the world. And it's great information because the Pacific is so strategic. It is the world's largest ocean. So land here is very valuable. So it's very impressive. One, the history of this place. So you have these multiple groups. Primarily, we can call them collectively Austronesians, but Austronesians, Papuans, Melanesians, Polynesians, these people that basically sailed from East and Southeast Asia to these far out flung islands as far as Hawaii. And some would even say they reached the New World, which wouldn't be a far fetch because just getting to those locations alone was an impressive feat. So you have that component of it as well. But then you throw in a layer of the colonization that was taken over in the late 19th century, early 20th century, and you have all these various influences, whether that's the French in New Caledonia, whether that's the British in Australia, New Zealand, whether that's the Germans in Samoa. You have all of this in Americans as well, not to forget the Americans in Samoa. You have all of this complexity in a rich region, and on top of this, you have these lands, these strategic islands that countries right now, such as China, as they're trying to work with the Melanesian nation of Solomon Islands, like China's trying to work their way and expand their presence as well. And you see things are heating up right now with China doing firing exercises in this part of the world around Australia, New Zealand. Australia, with their AUKUS deal, just dropped $500 million on their first of their many payments for the $3 billion payments to get the American nuclear subs that's projected to come out after 2030. So it's a lot. It's a very dynamic region, and you have to wonder. And it's going to be a highly contested zone because you have it's very dear to America and very dear to China. So this is definitely a region to watch, and we want to make sure that you have a thorough understanding of its history, the culture, and the geography of this part of the world. Our next project that we're talking about is going to be We're working on an activity guide in our first of our series, our War Brief series. This is going to be a series based on various wars. The first war we decided to cover is going to be the U.S. Civil War. I figured reason why we want to cover U.S. Civil War, it would probably be most apt being an American myself, just giving that visibility, even more being African American. So much of the U.S. Civil War was based around the conflict of slavery within the United States and states' rights. So it's going to be great. And like our products, like of course you're going to be knowledgeable with a Bantu Sun product. You're going to be knowledgeable. But what we really try to do is get you beyond taking a test. We try to get you to that applicable knowledge. Like people won't like to say this. So you do have your math and sciences, which have probably precise or exact answers. But I always see history as an art, history as a social science in this nature. So they may tell you, okay, this is why this happened on a test. But in reality, the answer is, what are you deducting from this situation? Why did you find this instance to be very important? Yes, you want to pass a test, but it's really, I want to give you all tools where you can analytically look at what's going on and make deductions based on the available information that we have, and take that lesson from history and utilize it going forward. And that's what you're going to get when you get our War Brief products. We're going to talk about great people that's involved in it. We're going to talk about battles. We're going to talk about the situation surrounding what created the conflict, the consequences of the conflict. It's going to be a total comprehensive look in a very digestible form, like all of our products are. We're taking these big, grand concepts and we're breaking it down to make sure that you get all the nutrients of what's going on, and taking those lessons away from history, from a historic, social, and a geopolitical aspect. The last product I want to bring up and make sure you're aware. So I've been doing a lot of deep diving on the Congo for numerous reasons. The Congo has been, this is the Bantu Sun after all. The Congo is the heart of sub-Saharan Africa from a geographical point of view. It's a massive country. And the thing with the Congo, many people don't understand, is just how it is the embodiment of the impenetrable nature of Africa. It's in the jungles. It's mountainous. It's dense. The roads and infrastructures aren't highly developed, but it is such a geostrategic position. It has all these phenomenal resources. It has so many natural resources, from volcanoes to hundreds and hundreds of rivers. It seems as though like this is the home of the Congo River Basin, so it thoroughly penetrates the continent. It's basically a wonder in the continent of Africa. So you take that and you put on top of that, being in the center of Africa, a continent where you have all these various empires, Belgian, French, English, all across in close proximity. Then you throw on top of that all of these independent movements coming along at the same time. Throw on top of that the Cold War, and you put some assassinations and ambitious characters, and you really have a obfuscated view. It's very murky, very nebulous, everything that goes on in the Congo, because it is in a dark part of the world, because it isn't covered well. But we really want to get into understand what's really going on. I don't like simplistic answers. The reason why I like simplistic answers, because people love to tell you what this is on a test, but there's a lot that's going on in Congo that's not really covered. And life has taught me there is no magic. Magic is just your ignorance. So when I see something and it looks odd, and I can't rationally see how I go from monkey bar to monkey bar to monkey bar, and how I carry on to that next phase, I know that there's been some deception. There's a black hole that I haven't saw that's out there. And truthfully, I'm a person, I'm not going to rest until I understand that, or I'm not going to give you opinion, which is why I haven't made a big video on the Congo yet, is because I wanted to make sure I got as much facts as I could so that it logically makes sense from beginning to the end. Understanding, okay, this is the space of the Congo. This is how the Belgians operated. This is how it led to independence. This is Lumumba. This is Mobutu. This is Kabila. So it's all the way up. to current leadership with Sadeki, like making sure we understand what is actually going on in the Congo. Um, and I don't think we had a complete story. What people love to do, especially in Africa, is they just like to say African leaders are horrible, or African leaders are crazy, they're greedy, they're corrupt. Like they're any different than any other leader, which is rubbish. They're no different. It's just um, Africa hasn't been able. One of the things you gotta understand, Africa, a lot of the countries, like a country like a China, unified thousands of years ago. Europe was the home of the nation state. You know, centuries and centuries they've been unified. The New World grew outside of nation states of Europe. Whether you're talking about these empires of Spain or Portugal or England, but these were still based on a nation state concept. The idea of governance and shared power, all these things were incubated and the founders of the New World, North America and South America, as well as Australia and New Zealand. So these concepts of the nation state were thrust upon the African, as far as the concept of these borders, how they exist, the slice and dicing of people based on colonial fears. So what I'm basically saying is Africa has had to learn the nation state on the job. And just because some nations, of course, in the world has done better on the continent and off the continent than others. That's not the point. But we take African failure too lightly, then understand that there's a reason why these occur. It's a reason why these African leaders stay in power for decade and decade and decade. Where you're looking at Isaias Afwerki of Eritrea, or you look at President Kagame and President of Eritrea, or you look at President Kagame of Rwanda, or President Museveni of Uganda. It's a reason why these leaders stay in power for such a long period of time. And it's the reason why you get a leader, and they want to do this praise, right? They want to do these praise. This is what I don't like. This is what I talk about understanding things thoroughly. They want to do these praises of Thomas Sankara, bless his soul, he's a great African hero. And praises of Patrice Lumumba, bless his soul, he's a great African hero. But these people, when they got in power, it was their own people that deposed them. Both of them, they're number two. So with President Sankara was Blaise Compaoré, and with with Patrice Lumumba in the Congo, it was Mobutu. So it was in both of these leaders, Compaoré and Mobutu, led their countries for decades, or years and years and years and years and years and years and years. But their predecessors was far more virtuous, didn't last that long in that role because they were betrayed, which makes me think that I don't see that as that's indicative. You understand? That wasn't a mistake. That wasn't erroneous. That's indicative that it was something that's required of government that the former leaders, Lumumba and Sankara, it was something that they did that was not digestible to their supporters. You understand? And it's important to understand that. You sit there and people will say, oh, we need virtuous leader, or we need good man, or whatever that word means. We need capable men. We need capable men that can unify and lead a country. You look at a country, I was just looking at Rwanda celebrating Paul Kagame, President Kagame. Kagame been in power for ages, right? Do you think Rwandans care that he's not, that he has a consolidation on power? I can go off the continent. You can say that about the POP government. I'm a big admirer of the work Lee Kuan Yew done in Singapore. And Lee Kuan Yew was leading the government for ages, Prime Minister of Singapore for ages. Point of the matter is, understand the leadership that works and don't work, and why it works and don't work. And that's what I'm not understanding yet fully with the Congo. There's a lot of hands in the pie. And it's obviously the reason why it's a lot of hands in the pie is because Congo is an immensely rich country. It's a lot of players around it. But the problem has been, why hasn't a leader, why haven't, like, even all of these issues in the Congo, they didn't happen until Mobutu was weak. So why these issues are happening now? Why is Congo unable to defend its own borders? So as I said, this is something I'm still digging into. I'm doing research on it. It's very interesting. concept. So be on the lookout for those 3 projects. We're looking to get out to you in very short time. Thank you so much for your support. If there's any major projects or products that you're really interested, or topics that you're really interested in, especially surrounding the Bantu world, and you feel as though nobody's really speaking to it or giving light to it, and you think it deserves its voice, please let me know. I really appreciate it. Comment below what you think of the projects that I've already proposed. Are you excited? You're interested? Will you say you don't know yet? But go ahead, comment below, like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Until next time, take care. Bantu up.